Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Songyi Lee from Impact Collective calling in from New Zealand. Lovely to have you guys all here. We have more people coming in, so we're just gonna give ourselves maybe 2-3 more minutes. And today we are doing our first Ask Me Anything session of Impact Collective 2021. As you all know, we are starting our cohort 2 application open from tomorrow. So our team is very busy finalizing the whole process. Hopefully this will be an easy process and an enjoyable process for all of you. And I mean, let me know where are you from. Can you just type on the chat your name and where you're from, or organization or startups, anything like that? Like, let's chat. Yes. Also, we have 14 people. Hi, Charlotte. Awesome. Yeah, and then we have a special guest today, Ali from DeafTawk, and we will have a conversation with him later. But today, mostly we're just gonna talk about Impact Collective, and then I will give you guys a quick, brief introduction, what Impact Collective is, and then mostly be just talking with Ali, and then get some questions from you guys. Housekeeping here. There is a few different chat. I don't know how familiar you guys with AirMeet, but we have a chat channel that you guys are using it right now. And if you have any question, there is a Q&A tab. So you can just type the questions and we can view right away and answer either chat or me speaking, or Ali or other team member can speak on behalf of Impact Collective. And other than that, just you can leave it in the chat as well, and but I encourage you to use FAQ option, not FAQ, Q&A option. All right, thank you. Hi, Joseph from Jakarta, Rafal from Poland, and Hangyang from Korea, Sushil from India, Delhi. Wow, I hope you guys are all good and well. Awesome. Sujana from Singapore and New Zealander. Wow. Awesome. Kia ora, Sujana. That's amazing. Yeah, so I was gonna kick off with some slides that we prepare. If you guys were at the last soft launch, it's a very similar presentation. For whom that never been here before, I will give you guys a quick introduction. Can you guys see my screen? Cool, awesome. Yes. Oh, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up. That's great. Yeah, so Impact Collective is basically co-creating the Future Together group, and it's a community, and it's a community of entrepreneurs, investors, researchers, students, and consumers, and users, and students, and advocates, and everyone who's involved in startup scene and the impact scene in APAC region. So who's here or watching this video, you guys are the one who should be in our community. And especially our community and the Impact Collective, the initiative is a community-driven acceleration program for the startups that are focusing on opportunity in Asia Pacific region. And we, as I just mentioned, we invest and we support and we connect the startup and then help the team to solve the challenges and create a positive impact around the world. And our goal is not just supporting the social venture or social enterprise. We are helping a lot of different well-maintained business to get impact strategy right and to discover their impact angle and implementing the impact strategy and the statement into their business statement so they can actually grow their impact as well as their business. So that's what we do. And then this is done in a collaboration of the ventures and then WUFNA and Weave and then other amazing partners that is based and worked in this Asia Pacific region and beyond. We all come together as a collective to bring this program alive to the world. And each partner has a different capacity. The ventures, of course, bringing with amazing business perspective and also startup experience, and plus the early stage investment firm. So we do invest in a really good team and a good founder. And UFNA is doing a lot of great work with our UN partners to bring the impact angle to the Impact Collective. So we will be running impact session by our UN partners and our impact managers and UFNA, learning about how you can actually integrate your impact angle to the business and how you can communicate those impact to the world, and also how you can measure them. Our key 3 pillars are, as I mentioned, Asia region focused. Asia region creating a lot of world problem, so we can actually create a solution as well. And that's why we think that Asia is really, really important players in the global ecosystem. And we really want to come together to bring the great solution to the world. And community is really the heart of our program. Impact Collective community is hands-on on the process of selecting team, helping team, and evaluating team, and actually making investment decision from a community. They are doing the due diligence for us and with us. So just welcome to the community and to be part of it. And then last but not the least, the impact is really the main thing. You don't have to give up impact to do business, or you don't have to give up business to do impact. And how can you do both well? Come and learn and experiment. This is our program timeline. It's 10 weeks long. It could be long, could be short, but this is like the time that we dedicated to all of the startup team impact makers and all the expert and then the community member come together to support the impact makers. So you're not just getting investment funding, but you also get a lot of support and then getting exposed to the amazing different networks in a different region. And then you also get investment if you're ended up being a top 10 company. This year, we decided to make mandatory or kind of like automatically you will receive a 50,000 USD amount of investment if you make it to the top 10. So it's a lot more important that you actively getting engaged and be part of it as a judge. And then if you're an impact maker, come and the investment is guaranteed for top 10 company. Our program application is starting from tomorrow, and we will be closing the application in August 15, and then we will have 2 weeks of evaluation time. And then we will run 9 weeks of program, including Impact Collective Camp, Impact Session that I mentioned, and there will be a home group check-in and a theme and regional sessions with amazing partners, and then ecosystem mapping and policy dialogue done by our UN partners together with a lot of policymakers and then key players in your region. And then and other self-organized amazing groups and amazing events will be there on our platform and beyond. And the final week is basically pretty much like you do vote for the team, and then we do final demo day, and that's going to be the end of the program. Yeah, this year we designed the program around the 6 theme, which covers 16 SDG. And number one theme is inclusive health and quality of life. A lot of teams last year were in that category. It was beautiful to see a lot of different solutions that we were not familiar with. And maybe Ali can talk a little bit more about it since he was one of the leading team in that sector. And green energy and environment and circular economy and future of the waste management and digitalization for equal opportunity for all and sustainable agriculture and food and future of work and the economic growth. If you are thinking that you know what theme that you are going for, and yes, please apply with that theme. If you're not quite sure what this is, go to our website. You can read a little bit more about the themes and explanation. If you have more question on our website, there is a frequent asked questions FAQ menu. So go in there, then you can actually learn a lot more about the whole application process and then themes and what you can actually learn and then do and then investment as well. So yeah. If you know your SDG goals and if you know what you're actually doing, and that's great, please apply right away. Don't wait till the deadline, because if you apply early enough, then you will have a more time to be exposed to the experts, so they can actually go deep dive on your application and they will do a better job. Yeah, so why you should apply? Basically, investment and a pilot opportunity, and we working with a lot of different networks, and especially also WeGo is the network of the city mayor, and they are part of our network as well. So you can easily get into those local government and also national level. And we try to leverage that part and giving you guys investment and also pilot opportunity and a fast track investment opportunity. If you are already ready to get investment, then we will start reviewing your applications, your investment opportunity basically from day one. And there is no fee or no equity is required to join our program. So if you apply, even if you don't get the final top 10 or getting fast track investment, you will still be getting a lot of different connections and exposed to the network and then learning about your impact strategy and business strategy. You can get all this benefit without paying any money, just your dedication and your passion to grow faster, and maybe not just faster, but grow better. And yes, community-driven approach. So it's not that you are exposed to only few investor, but you actually exposed to a lot of different group of people that can be advocate for you in the future. So come and educate us, and come and tell us what you're doing, and come and just connect with these people and get more fans for your business. And inclusive community-based judging. So it's not just 10 people or 5 people making investment decision. Right now we have 1,000+ people in our community. And last year, I think at least 300 to 400 people joined the investment decision process. So that's all open. So if you're not a startup, but you want to get involved in Impact Collective, come and join as a community judge, and we will soon roll out the application form soon. And diverse expert community. We have amazing individuals and organizations there to support you and see your success. Yeah, this is like a simple recap of 2020. We have today, I think we reached 1,100 community member. Congrats to all of you and all of us. Last year, we had about 400 application and we select 84 team. But this year, we're going to select 40 to 50 team. So we can more focus on the quality communications and learning. And to just give you a little bit of sense about what kind of stage of the company are applying. Last year, our average revenue of team was 75K per month. So we are welcoming pretty much post-seed and pre-series A startups. So you have to have a working prototype, working product, and then tractions and revenue. So these questions are all implemented to our application. So you just go in and you would know. And we had 117 community judge last year, and our fund started with a 5 million. We are prepared to create a bigger fund in Singapore this year and in the coming years. Yeah, so these are where our partners came, and these are the basically demographic information about our partners and their professions. And yeah, it's very diverse group. So it's not just the investor alone, but a lot of industry expert, 4% of VCs, and then ecosystem builder of 20%, and then UN and policymakers like a 5%. Yeah, if you're interested in, so go to our website, impactcollective.earth, and you can find all the information you need. And if you want to get more like kind of not late, but like recent updates, come and follow on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Just starting, so go follow IC_Earth is our handle. And step 2, just apply early enough so you get more exposed. And then if you're an individual interested in expert, we will roll out the sign up form for you. If you're interested in, just give us a chat, and then we can give you the expert form. And step 3, all set. Just go come check out our Impact Collective community, impactcollective.moim.co, and then you can just be part of the community whoever you are. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. And since we talked about 2020, and we have 2 amazing speakers today alongside with me that participated in 2020 session. So we have a Shariff and we have a Ali. So I was gonna start throwing some questions. And hi guys, how are you guys today?
Hey Songyi, it's been a while. Nice to be here today. So yeah, taking time off from intense work and hanging out with friends. So it's always fun to do that. Ali, nice to see you again, bro.
Likewise, nice to see you, and thank you so much for inviting us as well. So it's again always be a proud moment when we work with Impact Collective and recognizing all the memories of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you guys like introduce yourself, and then what your company is doing and how you actually creating impact very briefly, starting from Ali, please.
Surely. It's a 500 million population who are facing a communication barrier because much of us don't know sign language, and they are excluded from that mainstream environment in order to interact with the general society. Either they are doctors, teachers, or primarily for the job interviews. And if we talk about the EGAN studies, there's 256 million who are suffering from the challenge who are deaf. And DeafTawk is enabling the environment by providing online sign language interpreters through a mobile application, which is available on both iOS and Android platform. We piloted back in Pakistan, then scaled to Singapore and Sri Lanka. Now soon we will be launching in Denmark and as well as in the Korean market, hopefully in next 3-4 months. If we talk about the traction we have run more than 150,000 hours of sign language services. We have more than 30,000 active users from these markets. Our month-on-month growth is 25%. Recurring revenue, as I said, is $65,000 per month. So that's how we are operating. And definitely, we would love to be the Google translator for the deaf community.
Awesome. Google translation for deaf community. How amazing and ambitious goal is that? And I know you guys are not just talking, but like walking the talk. So it's amazing to see you guys doing great. And we can't wait to have you guys in Korea. Awesome. And Shariff, do you want to introduce about yourself and then Outpos?
Yeah, sure. I first of all, that's a tough act to follow after Ali's elevator pitch, right? I thought we'd be hanging out. Didn't know we'd be doing an elevator pitch. So there we go, scar tissues. So my name is Shariff. So I'm the CEO and founder at Outpos. So every day there's 2.5 billion people from around the world that still consume from street food vendors. And in Indonesia itself, there's over 500,000 of street food vendors that needs to upgrade their business to stay in business, especially during this COVID time where there is a heightened interest in hygiene and operational soundness of food vendors. I think what we're building is even more relevant now than ever, right? So our main mission is to really, not just modernize street food vendors, but shape the future of micro retail altogether. It's been a challenging time trying to build a business, a physical O2O, online to offline business with a physical component. But being part of the IC program, Impact Collective program, and being part of a cohort and alumni of a greater group of founder friends, right, that we can lean on and gather inputs or support from has been really, really helpful. So that's a little bit about Outpos. Not going to do the whole spiel about our pitch here, but love to talk more about IC and our experience with it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of shy to ask you guys this, but what was your favorite moment of Impact Collective when you think of it? Or is there any like a memorable events or a memorable things that happened through Impact Collective Network or our program?
Well, it's difficult to, I guess, highlight one or two movements, but because there are a lot, particularly if we remind in ourselves, when we joining that community, we thought we are generating impact, and we know SDGs that we are holistically working on across 16 SDGs or 17 SDGs might be. But when we joined in, the first thing we found that we never calculate our impact. So how can we have impact startup? And then you can say the memorable moment with Charlotte when she was taking a session on SDGs, then we get the realization that what SDGs are. And if we're following all SDGs, it means we are not following any SDG. So we have to select one or two, which is our key of focus by mentioning the indicators and targets. So that's one. And yes, there are many, as said, working with Nick, the group mentor or the leading mentor with Bobby. So it's all very, very exciting movements and proud moments when I remember the whole 3 months of journey with Impact Collective.
Yeah, so for myself, I echo what Ali mentioned earlier. It's really hard to pick the one particular moment, but for me, one that definitely is etched in my mind is filling out the application form, right? That we were so close to not being able to submit our application because it's a fairly extensive form, but it's for a good reason, right? After all, if you're fundraising and whether it's your seed or pre-A or A round, I think due diligence is going to be much, much more intense. So it's great to see that there's a level of depth covered within the application process. It makes you think through about some of these things, which you eventually have to answer during due diligence anyways, right? So that's helpful. But if I were just to jump across the other part of the whole story arc or narrative arc of the Impact Collective journey, another memorable part is definitely jamming with the mentors, right? Whether it in our assigned group or broadly around that, you get to not only pitch and refine your pitch in itself, but also your business model and your revenue model and just about every single aspect of your business, right? And there's many, like just going through that entire interaction level certainly helped refine our way of thinking and being able to take on tough questions during due diligence down the line, right? So that was interesting as well. The voting, boy, I'm not sure how it's going to be like this year, but that was out of this world. Definitely a pretty stressful moment, but in a fun way. It's a friendly competition, right? At the end of the day, we know that all our peers are here to create a positive impact in our various forms or ways. So we want everyone to succeed, but at the end of the day, there's also still an element of competition. So you have to be frenemies for a while, even amongst the mentors and the judges and our supporters. But at the end of the day, that all matters little, because when you go through the process, just like Ali mentioned earlier, it's really helpful to help us refine further our the way in which we measure our impact, right? We thought, we figured it out as well, but as we go through a program, we go through some of the points that Charlotte brought up, like we're like, wait a minute, we can go another level deeper on this subject matter, right? So that has certainly benefited our startup journey as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for making time and then just getting engaged with us like this way and then another way. And then we thought that we are giving something to you guys when we started, but actually at the end we learned that, okay, we've given so much from you guys and we learned so much. And then especially, you two teams, like just amazing founders and dedications. And thank you so much for what you're doing. And keep doing what you do. And Impact Collective, we just spoke just before at the backstage, and Ali coming to Korea, and we're like, what can we do? We will just gonna spend our time and then try to help you and settle here. So it's really become like more like a family and like a really close network of people, and that's beautiful, and it's continue. And don't forget to use your thanks token. You guys still have some probably, and part of it you can still spend, and we will give another thanks token to the at 21, and then so we plan to activate that kind of like a positive incentive mechanism for a long time. So what is thanks token here is thanks token is the token that we are giving to the impact maker. So impact makers not just get voted, but also they can also judge other people and an expert or like other community member if they got a great help from them, and then they can distribute their thanks token to different people, and then our community members will have that and they keep that as a they're a kind of like a precious treasure, and that is later will be translated into the 5% of our carry upside of our fund. So you will eventually get some financial benefit, but actually the fact and then the point is so you can actually keep connecting with the teams, and then you can contribute to the team's growth. So the team make a huge success, and you will get your success as well as the growth of the team and developments. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And we have some questions here, but before we jump into the question, I don't know if you, Ali and Shariff, you have any kind of like last words for the team who is thinking to apply for 2021. Any advice?
Yes, it's not the last word, but it is that if anyone is thinking, they should apply, because it's really give a huge you can say impact instead of rewards, because the network which it possesses, it's amazing. The mentors, the jury members, you name it and you will find it. And Malta and Charlotte and these folks are so amazing. You just need to ping them that we love to meet that particular person, and they can organize that meeting. So that's the beauty of this community. So it's just not a matter that either we reach on top 10 or either we are able to make the investment or not. It's just a matter that how we can be part of that community, because that community is so enriching in terms of the knowledge, in terms of the skill set, and in terms of the resourcefulness and the network. That's amazing. And a startup like us always requires that networks to scale globally.
Yeah, so again, I'll echo what Ali said. Like, don't even think about applying. Like, think about it. Like, just do it, right? Because after all, like the outcome might be out of your hands, but at minimum, just the process of applying itself will help you think through certain things, which is going to be relevant anyways in your due diligence process or investor relations process. So just just do it. And even if you don't get through, you might learn from it, and then so there's next year, right? Also, at the same time, keep in mind that Impact Collective is one of the programs where, yes, there's some structure to the program. There's going to be some time that you have to dedicate to the program, but it's got that right balance of structure, but yet giving you the freedom and space to do your thing, right? So I don't think you'll be. I know that as a startup founder, you have to really be super optimal with how you spend your time. But I think how the program has been structured is going to be respectful towards your time as well. Or at least those of us who went through the first round, I think we've given enough feedback, right? Us, the first round guinea pigs, we've helped you fine tune that program a little bit more. So if it's a better experience this year, then kudos to us who help make that happen as well. So yeah, just go for it, and you'll definitely get positive takeaways from the program, regardless of whichever stage of the program that you're involved in. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the beautiful testimonials. Yeah, that will really help teams to just do it. Just do it. Don't think.
Yeah. So if I give one pro tip, that is your thanks token, right? I think I still have some. Don't be too quick to give it all away, because you could use that to leverage for extra time in the mentors, I guess, or the experts, right? Yeah. So don't be so trigger happy with the tokens. That's just probably one pro tip that I can give. Yeah.
One pro tip. This is very a secret tip, but I'm talking publicly. But you can actually take the token back. That's quite mean, but you can do that.
I didn't have a heart for that, so.
Yeah. Funny. But thank you so much, Ali and Shariff. And then we just can't wait to see you guys in the 2021 project as well. So we will be opening some sessions for our alumni, and you guys are still involved. So, if you guys have any idea, if you want to run a session or anything like that, just ping us anytime. If you want to get some like a soundboard with the other people, and let us know as well. And let's keep growing this community together. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's lovely talking with you all. Thank you, Sherry, for acknowledging my words. You always be a lovely folk to work with.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having us, everyone, and all the best with the journey.
Thank you. Indeed. Yeah, amazing. It's just like so heartwarming to talking to our impact makers. I always have a full respect and joy talking to them. It's great. Yeah, so we have questions from Burke Lee. Hi, Burke. How much funding do you provide to the startup? So this is a good question and then important question. So we have a fast track investment funding. So quickly speaking, it's a minimum 50K up to 500K. And the 50K will be given to top 10 automatically. And the terms are not set. So there will be, each company will have a different terms. We are not forcing you to have a one term for every company, which is impossible. So we will do that. And then, it could go up to 500K if you have a big check size and then we see that this is growing and is opportunity. Yes. And next question, do you plan to expand to other continents? Ourselves, we have a lot of different thinking. So Impact Collective is not just run by one company. It's a collective effort that we're putting in together. So this year is year 2, still young and fresh and then exciting. We will keep doing what we do. And then next year, it depends on our partners and how we grow. We might take up to the different regions, the different countries, even different city, who knows, or different themes. So we have like a very much open ideas of how we want to expand our program. But we are not like super focused on the growth because the work we do right now is already big enough. And we want everyone who's in the process and the community to be happy with where they are instead of just growing. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. If you want to give me a little bit more context, feel free to do that. Is there any other questions, guys? Don't be shy. Or anything else you want to add to this communication? All right. I think there is I don't see any hands or anything, oh, there is one more questions coming in. how does voting system works? Oh, that's a big explanation. So basically, we using Impact Collective, a community platform, impactcollective.moim.co. When you go in, and there will be a voting open for you. And before you do that, you have to be kind of eligible to be the voter. So there will be, if you are just community member, you have to apply for the community judge role. And then if you're an expert, you will already have a judge kind of functionality and a role as a voter. So you can just do that. And then once it's set, we will send you a ICV, which is the Impact Collective Voting Token. And once the time comes, and you will see the dashboard of the you can vote. It's very simple. You just click and you just write why you're voting for this team. Until then, you have to know like what is this team doing and how engaged they are, and how what's their models, and if this is aligned with your interests and things like that. There's a lot for you to think and due diligence for you. And if this company is from Korea, then Korean people knows better. If this company is from Pakistan, people and a community member in Pakistan know better than investors sitting in the office in Korea. So that's how we utilize the due diligence process and doing this with the community. So you would be participating in a lot of different activities, and also DD, and reading a lot about this companies, and then vote at the end. And if you're an expert, of course, you will be interacting with them through office hour and so on. And Shariff, how can a startup make the most out of IC? I think actually, echoing what you two said, just apply. Just apply. And there is a lot you can get, and depends on which stage your company, which stage of your company you are, and then what you're looking for. You might be looking for investment. You might be looking for a network and a connection and a mentors and a fans. We all have it here. So just apply, and you can be very smart about what you want to get. We were probably gonna go through the some sort of this like a personal questions, and what do you want to get out of it through a home group session, and you would get to think what you want to get out of it at the beginning, and then you will have to have like a plan for 10 weeks. Okay, this is what I want to get, and you can get what you actually wanted to get. I can pretty much guarantee that you will be surprised how much you can get out of it. And how is actually basically just spare your time. I know it's really, really hard to take up time, and especially some intensive like programs for camp, for example, is a 2-day immersive program. So most of your day and evening will be occupied with our program, but that's just 2 days. And then, spare your time for office hour, and then be active and engage with the people. There are a lot of people try to help, but if we don't know what you need, we can't help. So be active, engage, and be vocal, and then just let us know anytime what you need, and then we will find a solution for you. All right. As you mentioned, impact is important. In selection process, what % of weight is given to innovation and then defensibility? For this question, I think I want to bring up Charlotte up to the stage, if she can do. Ali and Shariff both mentioned Charlotte on their testimonial. Charlotte, do you want to answer this question? Yeah, while we're figuring out the technical kind of bringing her to the stage, I can answer Burke's question. What does Impact Collective gain from helping Impact for startup? Yeah, I mean, practically, we creating this community, first of all, to really expand and building strong connection of impact ecosystem. And impact ecosystem mean it's not just impact makers or entrepreneurs or investor, but like how can we bring all these important players to the one platform, and then growing our voice and then make our voice so we can actually creating solution faster and more impactful. First of all, to seeing that and then participating in that process is really beautiful, and that's what we are trying really hard to focus. This is as an open platform. And a second thing is, of course, the more we open, the better team it comes in through our network. If you are just try to hold it in your hands, closed programs or accelerator, this is just for us, and it's quite hard to actually motivate other amazing humans and finding these amazing humans. So we want to just test how community can be so powerful when it comes down to finding and discovering the hidden gems in the different region and different sector. So we get to find the best deal in the region. That's quite powerful. And for example, we invest in one of the company in Pakistan. They're run by 2 women doctors, and they're doing amazing work in business. They might join the next session, or I don't know, like soon you will see them if you come to the community. But like, if there is no community-driven voting or this kind of, the year of change of like a collective intelligence can create a powerful decision making and impact, we would not be able to find them actually. So we're really happy with experimenting this community. And our experiment, now we call it experiment, but it will become a mainstream, or how can I say, it will be a thing in the future. That's what we want to see, and we want to be the starting point and the fire makers or starters for that movement, and that's what we get out of it. And having amazing startups that we can invest that are backed by community, which means their growth is guaranteed. So we get our fund side will get pretty much great fruit out of that. I hope that answers your question. Okay, back to Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. So the question that I'm answering is, as you have mentioned, impact is most important in the selection process. What percentage of weight is given to innovation and defensibility? So I think one way to look at this is more of like, what are the selection criteria as to evaluate teams, right? When we receive applications, impact is integrated already into our criteria. So we do look for business models that have impact profit alignment. Now, when we're evaluating teams, it's not just a committee that's evaluating. It's actually every community member that's part of the Moin platform that gets to vote. And we do have community and expert judges that weigh in and provide input into this, which is what Shariff was mentioning a little when he gave a bit of background on his, a bit of insights into his participation last year. We're taking into account a lot of different votes because we want this to be as representative of the Asia Pacific region as possible. Now, for the selection process, we do look at 4 criteria. The first one being your business model. Second one is your product and service. Third one is impact. And fourth would be your team. And so based on these 4 different criteria, we assess whether or not your team would be getting votes from us as individuals or experts. And since there are a lot of different people here, when you take part in the program, it's very important for you to explain and connect with as many people as possible so that you can develop upon what your profile shows and get people to connect with you and potentially want to invest in you, because the program, once again, as Songyi was saying, there are many different ways that you can go about optimizing your participation. One of them being that there are many different partners. I coordinate a lot with the UN partners and city governments. We have a lot of other people that are coming in from the investment sectors, whether they're private financiers, whether they're associated with bigger programs. We do have GS Holdings that is also a partner. And so, this journey is really about trying to align as best as possible how your solution can accelerate and exponentially accelerate impact within Asia Pacific, and also how to best connect with the people that can give you the resources or connect you with the information you need to grow your business. And so all in all, just keep those 4 selection criteria in mind. And if you check out the application process, you'll already have an idea of what we're looking for. I hope that answers it.
So much, Charlotte. Since you're on the stage, do you have anything to add on any of these questions, or like tips or advice to the team who wants to apply?
Sure. I mean, from my perspective, I would first say, if you haven't heard about the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, I would invite you to check them out. They are 17 objectives that were adopted by over 193 countries that are member states of the UN, which means that they're a global blueprint for people, whether they're from private sector or public sector, to do business. So that means that they offer a lot of insights into market opportunities, gaps that need to be filled and need solutions. And so there's a very good niche right there to find your like how to best create your impact profit business model to not only make money but do good while you're doing this. And so that would be my first pro tip. Go check out the SDGs. If you do, it already gives you an insight into what people are looking for.
Awesome. Thank you, Charlotte. Yeah, so thank you for everyone who's been here for the last 45 minutes and either be here or will be listening to the video. Now we're gonna just end our very first Ask Me Anything and then go over to the networking for like next maybe 10 to 15 minutes before you guys go to bed or start your day. Is there any other final burning questions? Okay, I'll take that as a no. And thank you so much for joining today. I will see you guys in the networking session then. And what you have to do, you just go out of the session and there will be tables you can sit on, and you just go in and there will be 2, maybe 3 other people who will be joining you as well, or you can join their table as well and just discuss about what you're up to. And there will be some experts who's in the room, and some teams and some operator or organizer will be there. So thank you so much for everybody who showed up today and listening this video or watching this video. I will see you guys in the next AMA session, which is gonna happen in 2 weeks time, same time on Wednesday, on July. I'm just blanking on the date, but in exact 2 weeks time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.